Hey everyone, welcome back to the Feel Good podcast. I'm Leda.
And I'm Umbriel. Thanks for joining us tonight. You might want to grab a tea, get cozy, and take a deep breath, because this episode's about something that touches every part of our lives: boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries can be tough, right? They sound so simple, but emotionally, they're one of the hardest things to set.
Exactly. When we talk about boundaries, we're not talking about walls or shutting people out. We're talking about building doors, ones that open when we choose and close when we need to protect our peace.
Beautifully said. I used to think having boundaries meant being selfish, that if I said no, I was letting people down.
Same. I thought saying yes all the time made me a good person, helpful, dependable. But really, I was just burning myself out and silently building resentment.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the turning point, when you realize resentment is your body's way of saying, hey, you've been saying yes when you meant no.
So let's start from the beginning. What are boundaries?
For me, boundaries are self-respect in action. They're how I tell myself and others what's okay and what isn't.
Yes, they're invisible lines that define where your energy ends and someone else's begins. Without them, everything just blurs. Emotions, expectations, even your sense of identity.
That's true. When I didn't have boundaries, I didn't know who I was. I was just shaped by what everyone else needed me to be.
Exactly. You start living reactively instead of intentionally.
And what's funny is, people with weak boundaries often have the biggest hearts. They just want to help, to make peace, to be loved.
Yeah, it's coming from love, but love without boundaries becomes self-sacrifice.
Oof, that's so true. It's a quiet kind of self-abandonment that hides under the word kindness.
Right, but real kindness includes yourself. Otherwise, it's just people-pleasing in disguise.
You know, I remember a time when I said yes to everything. Every project, every hangout, every favor. On the surface, I looked reliable, but inside, I was exhausted.
I've been there too. I'd overcommit, thinking I could handle it. Then I'd get home and just sit in silence, feeling completely drained.
Exactly. And that emotional exhaustion turns into resentment. You start thinking, why does nobody appreciate me? But the truth is, you didn't appreciate your own limits.
That hits hard, because I used to blame others for taking advantage of me. But they were just responding to what I allowed.
Yes, boundaries teach people how to treat you. When we don't communicate them, we silently teach others that it's okay to overstep.
And the scary part is, it's not just about others. We start crossing our own boundaries too.
Right. We say we'll rest, then we work. We say we'll take a break, then we check emails.
Guilty.
Me too. It's like we betray ourselves in tiny ways, every day.
And every time you do that, you chip away a little bit of trust in yourself.
Yes, self-trust is built when you honor your own word. Even the small promises like, I'll rest or I'll log off early tonight.
That's the healing part of boundaries. It's not just about keeping people out. It's about keeping yourself safe inside.
Let's talk emotional boundaries. These are probably the most invisible, but the most crucial.
Absolutely. It's when you can listen to someone's pain without absorbing it as your own.
Yes, empathy doesn't mean carrying someone's emotions. It means being present without drowning.
Exactly. I used to think being a good friend meant always being available, always listening, always fixing. But I ended up emotionally overloaded.
Same. I had to learn that sometimes loving someone means saying, I care deeply about you, but I don't have the space to hold this right now.
That's such a powerful boundary. It honors both people, their need to share and your need to rest.
Yes, emotional boundaries protect compassion. Without them, compassion becomes depletion.
You know, emotional boundaries also mean
taking responsibility for your own feelings.
Exactly. It's not you made me feel this way, but I felt this way when this happened.
That shift from blame to awareness changes everything.
Yes, it builds emotional maturity. You stop taking everything personally and start communicating more honestly.
Let's be honest, setting boundaries can feel awful at first. That guilt hits so hard.
Oh, definitely. Especially when people react badly, or when you're used to being the nice one.
Yes, but guilt doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're growing.
Exactly. You're unlearning decades of conditioning that told you to please others first.
I remember the first time I told a close friend I couldn't help them move because I needed a weekend for myself. I almost texted back to cancel my boundary.
I've been there too. That urge to fix your own no. Yes,
But I stayed firm. And you know what? They understood. The world didn't end.
that's such an important realization. Most people don't hate you for setting boundaries. The ones who do are often the ones who benefited from your lack of them.
Oof. That's truth.
And even when someone doesn't understand, it's okay. Boundaries are for you, not for their approval.
Exactly. You're not doing it to control others, you're doing it to take care of yourself.
Yes, and the more you practice it, the more natural it feels. You start realizing peace is worth more than pleasing.
That's a quote right there. Peace over pleasing.
I'll print that on a mug. There's something beautiful about boundaries. They don't just protect, they heal.
Yeah. When you start setting them, you begin to feel safe with yourself again.
Exactly. You realize I can say no and I'll still be loved. I can take space and the right people will understand.
That's powerful. Boundaries filter out what's not aligned so you can make room for what is.
Yes, and you start attracting people who respect your no as much as your yes.
That's when relationships deepen, when love isn't based on availability, but authenticity.
And the relationship you build with yourself becomes softer too. You stop punishing yourself for resting, for needing quiet, for wanting space.
Yes. Healing begins when you realize you don't have to overextend to be worthy.
Exactly. You're enough even when you're still, even when you're saying, not right now.
So if you're listening right now and you've been afraid to set a boundary, this is your sign. Protecting your energy doesn't make you distant. It makes you sustainable.
Yes, because love that includes yourself is the most honest love there is.
Beautifully said.
Thank you for sharing this space with us tonight. Remember, you can love people deeply and still need distance. You can care and still say no.
Boundaries don't push people away. They make closeness safe.
Take a deep breath. Release the guilt. And remember, healing begins the moment you honor your needs.
Until next time, take care of your heart, protect your peace,
And keep feeling good.